To the story now, victims of abuse and various organizations supporting young women will come together to stand against a pastor who has been accused of sexual abuse and rape. According to leaders, the women have come forward with harrowing accounts of sexual abuse. They allege that they were coerced into inappropriate and harmful relationships under the guise of spiritual guidance. The survivors, along with the activists, will be leading a march to one of the churches linked to the allegations to shut down the church. Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi has the story. Okay, well, she's actually joining us live. Apologies for that. And Nasiphi, a very good morning to you. Tell us about some of these harrowing accounts that have been taking place. But has anyone ever been held accountable?
Well, Aldrin, we have arrived at the church where the alleged pastor of the alleged crimes, and we understand that the particular crimes that he is being accused of happened at this particular church. As you mentioned, that these victims were here to seek spiritual guidance. Emotions are extremely high. Community leaders, community residents, including the victims and the religious fraternity is here, and they are saying that they're here to make sure that their voices are heard, that such will not be tolerated in their communities where those in power use their power and leverage that and abuse, allegedly, young women. We will be speaking to them as so far as the allegations are concerned. But to talk to us more, perhaps, on what they know, I'm joined by Princess Tawu here, who is from the community and also one of the people leading the marches. What do we know about these allegations, and where is this pastor?
The pastor is in custody after the allegations of murder. After the allegations of assault. Apparently, during the days around the 27th of Christmas, December, then the pastor allegedly stabbed with a knife one of the victims. So then the case was opened based on the stabbing, but not on these issues of other sexually assaulting the minors, the kids in the church.
What do we know? We have seen the three victims when they arrived here in particular, they got very emotional. We saw a lot of other people getting emotional. One of those people being yourself.
This is very touching. What makes it more emotional? This happens in a church where they're supposed to be protected spiritually. Because one of the victims, she came here at the age of 13 years. Now, she's been undergoing this situation up until she got enough of the situation. Then where she was stabbed. And what makes this thing emotional? There are people of the community here who are still protecting the bishop. And the bishop is in custody for stabbing a girl, but there is still, surprisingly, women of this area. I think the government of this country, especially in the presidency, the minister in the presidency who's in charge of women and children, he's supposed to come here. This is a hell, this is a devil, whereby perpetrators of sexual violence are getting support from the community. This is very strange. It's my first time in my lifetime to see this, what is going on here.
Prince, just for clarity, the stabbing incident, is it a victim that was saying no to this alleged bishop?
Of course, it's the victim that said no to the bishop. Then the bishop used the knife to stab the victim. Then apparently upon that incident, then the bishop was arrested. But not for these crimes that he's doing in church. He's organizing girls to prepare a bedding for him. He's got a schedule for this thing. It's not one lady. There are three who came. There are two who came up front after the one, but even though they are scared because the bishop, he gets protection from the church members and from the community.
We heard now from one of the ladies that had brought the victims here that all three of these young girls have children.
Yes, I am told that I'm not sure whether all three of them, but the one who came up front, she reported the incident to the church, but the church supported the bishop to an extent that there was, in a way, a forceful marriage that was arranged by the church. When we interviewed the victim, the parents of the victim, they were never involved on this arranged marriage. It was done here internally. And one of the victims, she went to the one who's got a child, she went to the police to report this situation. And she was told that she is 18 years and in subs now. And there was also a social worker involved on that response. Now, does that mean someone who's 18 years is acceptable to be exposed on this situation? It's surprising.
I just want to get the linkage with the children that we heard from one of the community leaders. Are these children the children that they birthed of the bishop?
Yes, apparently, because it's linked with this incident. The bishop is making babies here in the church. Is continuously, because I'm told that there are three already, these young girls. And the young girl, one of the victims, she, on the starting of this thing, she once asked the bishop, why don't you go for the people of your same age to have a relationship? Then the response from the bishop was that his spirituality doesn't want old women. It wants the young girls. That was the response, that his spirituality wants the young girls.
I'll just bring in the councillor of this area, Lunwabo Mqina. We are hearing these harrowing recounts of what has been allegedly transpiring at the church behind us. In this ward, you were telling us that there were reports to police before these women came forward. And what did that materialize to? Talk to us on that.
Greetings to you and greetings to your viewers at home. We have made attempts to report this issue to the police because there were rumors that here the bishop is raping young girls, and the bishop is a baby-making machine here in this community. But the problem that we're having is that there was no one who was actually willing from the victims to come out and report this issue. But as community leaders, we took it upon ourselves to go and report this to the police. And we did report this, and police did come out, but apparently they couldn't go further with this issue, as they said that there's no one who has actually reported a case and opened a case from the victims, so they can't just act on what they said. It's hearsay, because we said where there's, in fact now this goes to show that where there's smoke, there is really fire, as we can see that there are these victims here who have children from the bishop, but that didn't assist. What we tried to do going to SAPS didn't assist at all.
When the victims arrived, they were victimized. It seems that the community is polarized when it comes to not only the allegations, but the case that has been opened by the victims when it comes to the allegations of forced marriages, including that of the alleged rape. What do you make out of the further victimization of these three women that have come forward to open cases?
No, it is really bad to see, especially women, actually victimizing further and abusing other women. Because it is wrong for women to say that this person was not raped, this person is actually the bishop's wife, when you actually know that this arranged forced marriage is not something that the victim actually wanted. So, we condemn what few individuals, in fact, it's people who are actually benefiting, who are staying in this church, that are actually supporting this thing. But we're totally against it and we condemn it. As this community, we are here to say that this bishop must actually be stripped of his license right to be a bishop, and actually this church must be closed, because it shows that this person is someone who doesn't abide by the law, because he has actually built a formal structure in an informal settlement. That goes to show that he undermines even the bylaws of the city of Cape Town and the government of the day.
We'll have to leave it there. The ward councillor of this area. We are currently in Newzroom, not too far from the church where the alleged bishop allegedly committed these crimes. We will be speaking to the victims later on, obviously concealing their identity to hear from them their story and allow them to tell their story. But it is quite concerning that somebody in power being accused of something so serious and heinous, looking at the scourge of gender-based violence in South Africa on its own. But we will be here, the community saying that they're here to stamp the authority and also send a message to other people in power and bishops and pastors that are abusing their power, that it will not be tolerated in this community.
Yeah, it will be interesting also to hear what the CRL has to say about this, because they've been doing some investigations into some of these incidents as well. Thank you so much for that update.